All right, let us now begin with the invocation. Saraswati Namastubhyam
नमस्तुभ्यं
Vrade Kamarupini
कामरूपिणि
Vidyarambham
विद्यारम्भं
Karishyami
करिष्यामि
Siddhir Bhavatu Me
सिद्धिर्भवतु मे
Sada
सदा
Vasudevam
देवं
Sutam
सुतं
Devam
देवं
Kamsachanuramardanam
कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी
Devaki Paramanandam
परमानन्दं
Krishnam Vande
वन्दे
Jagatgurum Hari Om Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. We continue our session on the Gita talks, which is every Wednesday. So we saw certain points, I think, first on why we need to study the Gita. What is the need? It is in light of what Sri Aurobindo has written in his essays on the Gita. I think everybody has a copy of that, either the physical copy or the soft copy from the ashram's website. So our demand and need from the Gita is what Sri Aurobindo first describes. How do we approach the scripture? How do we study the scripture of the Gita? Then, after emphasizing that, it is about the divine teacher. So, who is the ideal teacher or the guru? Anybody? Shashiji, you are muted. Huh? Yes, please.
Sorry, could you repeat the question,
The,
please?
what is this ideal guru? The ideal guru, isn't it? Everybody says, who is this guru, ideal guru? Who is it? Or how does one identify the ideal guru?
Hmm.
That is what we saw first in the lecture window is described, that divine teacher, that chapter on it. So anybody?
Somebody who would, um, for want of a better word, somebody who you can vibe with, who touches your heart, your soul, not
Okay.
here.
Okay, somebody who touches heart and soul is what Shashiji is saying. All right, somebody we can vibe with as well. Okay, it is quite interesting. Yes, Monikji, you were saying something? Is it?
Somebody who guides you through life.
Okay, yes, guide. We can say somebody who is our Krishna, isn't it? Krishna is
Yes,
the ideal guru for us who is, and more than searching for the right guru, I think the most important aspect is first becoming the right Shishya, isn't it?
exactly.
Rachna ji is saying something. Yes, please. Yes, ji, you were adding something?
Yeah, I wanted to say that Krishna just holds the reins, and the fight is to be done by the Shishya himself and never become that dependent on the Guru.
Yeah. Acha, but the Shishya is permanently dependent on the guru.
Uh,
So the independence of the Shishya from the guru is not something in the Gita at all, because last also Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, where there is Krishna, where there is Partha together, that is where Jaya is possible, that is where victory is
in the
possible.
in the sense that you can be guided, like he was with Arjuna, but he never had the weapons. He never used
Yeah.
any weapons.
Okay.
So, but you are supposed to do all the action,
Mm-hmm. Ji,
and the
ji.
guru can be with you
Yes, yes. But means
always.
they say identifying a guru or finding a guru in life, it is different from finding a guide. We go to a new place, we get a guide, isn't it? For who tells us things about the new place and all of it, and
Yes.
then we're happy. Sometimes we get good information, sometimes we don't. But guru is something a little bit higher. They say equal to the Paramatma itself. We say the Guru Parampara of Bharat is there. So here. And Krishna is in the Gita is like the ideal guru is Bhagwan himself. Now, and the connection of the guru and Shishya is like a very, as I think Shashi said, somebody you can vibe with. Yes, we vibe with our friends also, we vibe with our elders, sometimes who are wise, sometimes with our teachers, different people. But this connection which happens with a guru, that connection allows us to receive something which brings about a manifestation of something which is beyond. which is what we call as some sort of a supra-mortal understanding is possible in ordinary life, in ordinary individual. And that is why people go in search. Sometimes people go in search for a lifetime. And in some unfortunate cases, or many cases, people go through lifetimes of searching. Many lives go. Many lives go in for that beautiful union. It is a very durlabh union. But then comes the biggest question. Guru bina gyan kahan se paऊं? Where will I receive the knowledge without the Guru? And then there are some people, no, no, we have to then, it is said, Guru banana jaan ke, pani peena chhan ke. Be careful when you are choosing the Guru because it's a selection of permanent. It is not something कि हाँ अभी मैच हुआ इन्होंने बोला मुझे अभी पसंद I didn't like what was told to me so now this is not going to. It is a lifelong thing. It is something very special. So how does that particular connection come? That is a big question many people ask. Usha Maji wants to say something. You are most welcome, Maji.
नहीं, nothing. Sorry.
Nothing. Okay, all right. I just thought you. So this is
I
something which is somebody wants to add. Shashi ji, yes, please.
I just want to add, unless and until the guru touches your consciousness, there's a connection. Vibe and feeling is fine, but unless it touches here,
Yeah,
I don't think you're going to
yeah,
follow him mindlessly. You'll have feelings and all that. But until it touches you here, you're not going to
yeah,
let somebody in. That's what I
yeah.
think.
Yes, yes, yes. It has to touch, it has to connect, and but when that connection happens, it has nothing to do with the external or the outer, isn't it? It can be in any form, but this that is important because many times people look at I want to find a guru in social nowadays everybody has an opinion, isn't it? Whether it's on online, we have so many places to give different opinions. Everybody is sharing theirs. But in that, somewhere, where is the real quest? Where is the real search? That is something sometimes lost also in that race to identify. People sometimes discuss over a glass of alcohol. Whom should I find? Who is the right one? Who has greater following? Who is going to be more profitable on my spiritual journey? Can we look at or decide our guru with based on material aspects or even what return value I am going to get from it? Is that how we are going to choose? Because this person has so many people following, because there are these many thousand followers, so this person cannot be wrong, so I choose. Is that how the path is going to be chosen? Or is that how one is going to identify? Anybody?
If one is looking for a guru in present day, you get lots of things on YouTube, etc., etc. But after a while, it's a trial and error thing. Like I said, unless they touch you at a
Hmm.
conscious level, just
Is
for you to let them in. I mean, I've looked at some beautiful explanations of things,
yeah,
spiritual
yeah,
things, but it's just a temporary thing. It
yeah.
explains, but it doesn't touch me here, like reading Sri
Okay.
Aurobindo's a few lines, whatever. I might not understand it, but for some reason, I guess because I grew up in the ashram, I guess
Yeah.
that feeling is there. It's like
Hmm.
I worship the mother, but whenever
Hmm.
I met her as a child, it was a different feeling altogether. You just knew that you were
Yeah.
in an awesome presence that
See.
one can't explain.
Yes.
I still
Yes.
try and revisit to remember the times as
Wow.
a child when I went to see her on my birthdays. And
Huh.
that awesomeness still comes through. I might be over 70, but that child in me is still there. That
Yeah.
awesomeness is still there. I try and recreate as much as
Yeah. Yeah.
possible. but
Yes,
it is
Notice we
what
are
it
so
is.
lucky to hear that. I'm just so lucky to hear about this, that you have actually met the mother in person. This is such a wonderful privilege. But, ma'am, if I'm asking you to logically describe, you will not be able to, isn't it, on outer factors? What is it, that awesomeness, connection that you feel? Just by words, it is difficult to describe, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I remember just looking into her eyes, and that was
Hmm.
it. Touching her feet, but that looking into her eyes, you
Hmm.
know, one wasn't, I wasn't me anymore. I was me, but I
Ah,
wasn't me because you just knew that you were in a great presence.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that was all it was. You're
yeah.
not you, you're not you're a child, but you're part of her. And it's hard to
Hmm.
explain when you come out of that
Hmm.
5 minute,
Meeting,
is all
darshan.
yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's all yours. She's concentrating on you. And then
Hmm.
when you come out, I was floating in the air, like I've been to
Yeah.
see the mother today. Such a big deal. And it's
Yeah.
still a big deal because it's no
Yeah.
longer, but
Yeah.
it's hard to explain. That's why I said you've got to
Yeah. Yeah.
vibe. You have to,
Yes.
there has to be a connection, and it just
Yes.
doesn't
Yeah.
have to be there. It's got to be there as well. It's like a two-pronged thing coming together. That's
We
how
call it
I feel.
psychic. They call
Yeah,
it a psychic beings connection, isn't it? The
that's right.
inner
Yeah.
one, the inner one, which is not just on an emotional level where you just
No,
that
it is at
it's beyond that.
levels you don't even know. It's
Yeah.
at so many levels.
And we can't logically write that down.
No.
Also, we can't. It has to be experienced to understand,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
So that was wonderful to hear. So I think this, but it is important to form the connection. But the problem is you are not going to a market to choose, isn't it? You cannot choose the guru. You have the guru presents when the shishya is ready. The
Yes.
shishya has to be fully ready. And different people are ready at different ages, but the age is also not a factor, isn't it? Because Krishna is told we are taking birth so many times. Somebody who is older on this birth will actually be younger in another birth, and the person who is younger might be older. It is just a, what we can say, on the point of time you are pausing a particular, at like if a race is going on, somebody may look in the front for some time, and next moment all the table can turn completely, and that is how the life's sansara's the janama mrityu chakra is going on. And in that, and it is said, dharma vruddheshu vayana samikshate. The age is not a factor at all. So maybe as Shashi Maji shared, at a young age, she got a direct sanidhya of her guru, of the mother herself. And that was something which is, that palpable memory is alive inside of her in that moment, is so alive that even, means anybody who has seen the mother, if you hear them describe that feeling, they suddenly go into a very different state. It suddenly awakens a different vibe inside of them only because that is some beautiful, palpable connection. Like I had a chance of hearing a late Pashiji talk about his experience with the mother. He was probably in his late 80s or maybe even early 90s, and he had tears in his eyes. He was saying, I'm like a child. I was feeling like this, and you cannot describe it. I cannot describe anything. But you see, after so many years, also, how can that come? Because that connection has been formed. So, this connection of, which is a connection with the divine, which is the connection with the Guru, it happens. It is a very durlabha yoga which happens once in a life. We have to be ready to grab that moment. To grab that moment, there is one necessity that we can learn from the Bhagavad Gita. What is that is needed? What is needed is Arjuna's consciousness. To understand Krishna's consciousness, we have to first cultivate Arjuna's consciousness. We don't have to go searching. We don't have to go searching for a guru because, see, this person has n number of followers, or this person can give this particular siddhi to me, or this person can awaken this person will give me fame, this person will give me wealth. Everybody has a different priority. But that is not how you get it. That you can go and get in a market, isn't it? Or you go to a hotel and order idli, I want dosa. This you can place, but this is not Guru Shishya relationship is not a exchange at all. It is something very divine. And we have seen in the Gita what happens when Krishna and Arjuna come together. A big, great transformation takes place. The will of the divine starts manifesting. That is when the Guru Shishya come together. The divine will manifest. Manifest how? At God's speed. The tide turns. As Krishna said, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. All times when the darkness is there, at that time righteousness is going on, that time the entire tide of even the universe, the world can change. When does that change? That can change when that union is there between the Guru and the Shishya. The manifestation can happen. So for that, if we want to, if and one more question is there is then if the Guru is not present physically, what can we do? What do we do then? Can we do nothing? Is physical proximity only the necessary proximity? No, it is not. I think Shashi ji can share her experience if you wish to. You still feel the mother's presence guiding you, isn't it, Ji?
Yes, not only that, Sushruti, I know for a fact when I think back over,
Mm.
I've been
Yeah.
abroad for 50 plus years. The amount of time she's had my back, I just can't believe it. I honestly can't. I know there is somebody always present, whether I'm thinking of her
Yeah.
consciously or not. I know she's got my back. I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing the amount of
And
things that have happened, the near misses I've had, mixing with the wrong people because you don't realize,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
one hasn't learned how to look through people, their
Yeah.
friends that on face, the amount of things. And I think back and I think, oh my God, that was,
The mother.
amazing. I mean, who was looking out for me? I would say
Yeah.
an angel, but
Yeah.
really, she is my
Okay.
angel. She's always there
And
for
now this
me.
is knowing.
Illnesses I've been through, hospital visits I've been through, I've always come through better. And I know she'll always have my back. And I don't have to morning, good morning, mother, and at night time, thank you, mother, and please have my back while I'm sleeping because those are dangerous times. When you're sleeping, you can have psychic attacks and all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I gather everybody I believe in and say, please look after me and guide me while I'm sleeping. And you hopefully the guidance will make me into an instrument.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yes.
not
Yes.
in this life, but
Why not
whenever.
in this life? We have the mother is always wanting works in every kshetra. So I think that is,
Absolutely.
I think, yes, ma'am has just shared to us something very important. This is knowledge. You see, she did not, she said, it is a fact. It is a fact, is how she started explaining, and that is exactly what makes a difference. When you have that confidence, when you have that confidence that the divine is with you, the entire world can be against you, every single person, those you care, those you care for, sometimes your elders, sometimes your well-wishers also can suddenly turn against you also. It's possible, isn't it, in life? Anybody has experienced that? Your own people turning against you.
I'm
I think
sure we
almost
all
everybody
have.
has. Everybody has. So Arjuna also did not experience anything different, isn't it? That was so many 5,000 plus years ago. If it was there, why should it be different now? If that is the human nature which has not yet transformed.
Yeah.
If it had got transformed, there's no need for sadhana only. We are already yogis. So we are not because of this only. So when everything goes against you, there are moments where you feel alone, or sometimes you have a question of biggest doubts rising inside of you. That time, knowing what Shashi Maji shared is such a great, that is knowing Jnanam, Nyayam, Jnanagamyam, or Rudhi Sannivishtam. This is in the heart that the divine is residing. A small child of the ashram had written a poem. I'm not able to remember who it was. Sometime my mother had read it out to me. I don't remember the author though. There is a sweet mother deep in my heart. Always together, never shall we part. What a beautiful mantra is this? There is a sweet mother deep in my heart. Always together, never shall we part. Written by a small child going to the school. But what a great understanding that is if that child can carry it throughout her life, no matter what age she is in, she is going to always be protected. Because again, who has what Krishna has told in the Gita, isn't it? Ananyashchintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. I will take you across your entire life's journey, yogakshema, even your yoga sadhana. I will see you through. But for that, you need to know, and you need to know with confidence. Divine is present. Because then your heart knows you can deal with the most greatest uncertainties in life also with a great quietude. The problem happened in Arjuna's case was he did not have the confidence. That is why he lost all the self-confidence also. It is required all the confidence in the divine, isn't it? One of the two. It's enough. It's enough to take us through. But Arjuna was in his most difficult time of life. Again, what happened in Arjuna's case was something what we all experience. His own relatives, his own elders have gone against him. If you see how he tells in the first adhyaya only, he's like, what is this? See here, there is Bhishma also, Pitamaha Bhishma is there, Dronacharya is there. He's on the other side. He's having the intention to bring me down. What is this? What should I do? And that is where the entire problem comes. But my question is, why did Arjuna, who is such a wise, strong man, why did he feel so bad? Why did he have to get so easily emotionally disturbed? It's not a sudden breaking news, unexpected people did not come, isn't it? And he has also probably learned these aspects, what we are learning now, or we already have learned in life. I think those who have experienced much of life would have got some amount of detachment. Life only teaches, isn't it? It teaches by giving us blows if we don't listen. We are wise, we can learn without getting the blows. But somehow we learn that. So Arjuna, of course, must have got this because he's not a young teenager. He's a grown-up man having a grown-up son who is also a young man now. Why did Arjuna get this depression, or what happened? What do you think is there in the side of Arjuna that made him forget it at that difficult moment? What could be the reason? We're trying to identify Arjuna's side instead of just saying that he was attached because sometimes philosophies are very easy to say, no? But practicing is difficult. One very senior scholar, one Sanskrit scholar, he told me that detachment, so many times I have given so many lectures about the same, about detachment. But when it came to my, and he was very true in he was speaking his own experience. He said, when my father passed away, I did not understand what happened to me. I could not, despite knowing what is detachment or speaking so much about it, I am still lost. He says, I am still lost. I do my work, I do my duties, but still I have not experienced it. So something now here, this is one thing. So instead of looking at just by dismissing or explaining, sometimes philosophies are easy to say, but are we looking at it from integrally is a big question. Are we practicing it? Are we having that same standard, what we are claiming to attach with, what we are thinking of? So this aspect, what could be the reason? Because we do a little analysis. Maybe it might be useful for all of us also. Anybody, would you like to share? What do you think
I
was
think
the
it's not sort of sit down and let's think about it. It's an everyday constant issue.
yeah.
Where Arjun was concerned,
Ha,
I think he's fought so many wars. People, others were afraid of him, but when it came to his own family, he'd grown up with them. It's Pitama. It's like going against his father. You know,
Hmm.
the bottom line was that what is right for me. When you're in a family, you think about everybody, but when everybody
Yeah.
decides that they're going to do their own thing and they're going
Ha.
to be against you, that's the time that you have to lock down and think what is the right thing. You can't think, oh, Pitama went on that side, therefore he chose what he had to do. So now it's time for me to do
But
right by
who is
myself. What
wrong
is the
then?
right thing to no, forget emotions, forget relationship, and it's not a one-off situation.
Hmm.
Anybody who's
Okay.
got families and siblings and fighting over property, etc., it's an everyday situation. And personally speaking, believe me, it is
Hmm.
not easy. It's a
It's not
constant
easy.
war, but you know what, at the end of the day, the right attitude and just remembering what you've been
Hmm.
taught. It's a constant struggle, but on a daily basis, you come through, and that counts. It stacks up.
Okay. G. So I think Shashi Maji has shared something very interesting. It is like a daily battle. Anybody would like to add a little bit to what Maji has just shared? She gave a very nice perspective that it's not just with one particular scenario or once it happens. It keeps happening. It is regularly. It can happen between siblings. It can happen between friends. It can be between relatives. Same things what Arjuna went through. It happens. Anybody would like to shed a little bit more light than what has just been shared from Arjuna's point of view? Yes, because what our purpose is to look at it in a very practical and pragmatic way, because Gita is a practical and pragmatic scripture. It is not dismissing off immediately, and Arjuna is continuously asking even Krishna. Though Krishna says, I give you the secret, I give you the knowledge. Krishna doesn't impose this is the knowledge, you understand this. And when he doesn't understand, no, you have to understand it. He doesn't force him that way. He allows him to ask his questions. He says, but this doesn't look practical. How do I understand it? So if nobody wants to add to what Maji has shared, I'll just continue anyway. Yes, anyone? Would you like to add? Yes? If not, let us continue then. All right. So if this dilemma that Arjuna has, it is a dilemma of dharma only. What is dharma is what the great dharmic warrior. Arjuna is the righteous one, isn't it? He has earned many titles. He's become Parantapa, he is the Gudakesha, he is someone who is called Mahabahu, who has done a great, mind and body training and become strong, all of it. And he has always done what his strong sense of what is right, morally what is right. He has always stood by those principles. And yet when he sees that I am thinking this is right, but is Dronacharya thinking the same thing what Arjuna is thinking is right? No, Pitama Bhishma is thinking opposite is right. And here, his own elders, his own relatives, his own brothers, Kauravas are also his brothers, they are thinking another point is right. Maybe they have their attachments, so they think that is right. This person is having another set of attachments, he is thinking another is right. But when if I say good morning, another person says good night, can both persons be right in one place? I think in India and America, maybe it can two different places. You can agree. Somehow we can bring a reconciliation, maybe. Though right now we are having difficulties on the trade level, that reconciliation has not yet been reached. But if you look at it, if you are in one place, say in Pondicherry at this moment, it is night. If somebody says it's morning, both cannot be right, isn't it? One has to be right. Either it's morning or it is night. And same way, there is this question of dharma only. Somebody who is able to see that, ki chalo, sun is right, sun is in front of me, or I can see the beautiful bright sunlight. I am confident. I know it is morning. So with that confidence, I can declare no matter what, even if 1,000 people tell me that it is night, I know what the sun is. I know how the morning is. I can see this clear sky. I can see the truth. So I will not be disturbed. I am confident. I know it is this. Even if the entire world says, look, I can hear the birds chirp. I can see the flowers blossom. They happen in the morning and it is morning and it is right now. So that is easy. But because Arjuna's attachment, he had a reverence, he had a respect for all the Kauravan side as well. If you see some of the great warriors, he did respect them. And that is why he lost his sense of right and wrong. He forgets what is dharma only. The dharmic one has lost his confidence. That is why ultimately he tries different ways. He starts speaking so many things which don't make sense, including blaming Krishna for everything. Saying, Krishna, see, you wanted this. You desired the wealth and fame, and that is why it is for that that you made this battle take place. And he's lost. But one good thing which he does, and that is why we respect Arjuna so much, because Arjuna surrendered to Krishna and he accepted his non-understanding. That is a very difficult thing for anybody to accept their mistake. He says beautifully, and he's afraid. He says, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yat shreya syan nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Oh, well endowed, enlightened one, I, Arjuna, surrender to you. I've become your Shishya. Please tell me, because I have got a doubt on the Dharma only. What is morally right? What is morally wrong? Because he's very practical in understanding. He says, I have to see, give me, tell me one truth. Many times in the Gita, we see this trait of Arjuna, isn't it? Many times in the Gita, Krishna says this and he says, Syana Nishchitam Bruhitanme. After first time he has told, I want to know what is Shreyas. Yet Shreya, what is Shreya? What is correct? What is right? Tell me this. But then when Krishna talks about spiritual knowledge, he talks about other things. He says, one side you're talking about spiritual aspects, another side you're talking about material aspects. Don't confuse me, he says. He says, tell me with clarity which is right. Because this understanding of what is dharma, what is right, that is very important for all of us. If we do not understand this, we can go through our entire life. We can go through our entire life in darkness. Or it is a beautiful morning and we can keep calling it darkness all our life because everybody has been telling us this is night, this is night, this is night. And we will never experience what is the truth and we will always doubt ourselves. That is what happened to Arjuna. That is why he had anxiety. That is why he had his depression. That is why he had great sorrow. So, if you see, and then one of the other factors, if you see, Arjuna's humility, Arjuna's sincerity, Arjuna's, the turning towards Krishna, no? It becomes very difficult. I think, I do not know, since I think Shashimaji and Monikji are only on the screen, so I will have to ask who are live. So, this, I think, anybody has this experience of, I think, Monikji, have you met any guru or have you identified a guru in your life anytime?
No, I have not had a
No,
guru.
no, okay, ji, fine. Then I think Shashi ji, I can just since she has, shared her experience with the mother. How was it your turning towards the mother? How did it take place? As a child only you got introduced, isn't it? But when was it that you realized? Just today, I think I'm asking a lot of questions, prying a lot of to your personal past. If you wish to, you can most freely share. If you not don't, you're up to it's up to you, ma'am.
Well, I remember I came to the ashram when I was just 8 years old, 7.5, 8 years
Okay,
old.
okay.
And I was there for about 11 years. But I remember as a child when mother used to give balcony darshan in the morning,
Hmm.
I'm one of those individuals, even now, can't get up on time for anything, never was on time in school. So when it came to morning, my mom would be waking me and saying time, and I'd just run down the road, and I knew I'd almost missed mother, But then I found out that if I quickly run into the ashram and go near Samadhi, Mother has walked from the balcony, that first balcony, and she's gone towards the Samadhi at that first
Okay.
floor, and she'd be there. So if I'd missed there, I'd be
Okay.
running, literally running, and then wait there because I mustn't miss my darshan of
Okay.
her. So I just knew it was the right thing. I, as a child who is conscious, and I'm one of those people
Okay.
who late bloomers in life, so I knew that I
This
had
feeling.
to have that darshan.
Okay. And
And it was a must. And once I had
okay.
it, I could go my way,
Okay.
but that was a
Yes, Ji.
priority.
Ji, this was as a child. I wanted to understand is as you grew up, no, as you maybe in your middle ages, sometimes there are revolts, there are rebellions inside, no, inner rebellions. How did you silence them? Or you never had it at all for the mother? You had established the Divine Mother as your everything.
You know what? I think it's more like mother, mother took over,
Hmm.
in the sense that before I could say, you my guru, I feel at some level, once, like she has said, once I see you, that's it. You're
Ah.
in. She's put a lasso, a garland around you. So I think even before I was conscious, because I heard
Yeah.
about the mother when I was in Africa as a 5-year-old child, but I didn't
Okay.
know anything at all. I just
Uh-huh.
followed my parents to the meetings and come back. Eventually, we
Yeah.
came to the ashram. Oh, that's mother. I didn't even know that Sri Aurobindo had passed on. There was an old gentleman there. He had a beard.
Yeah.
And I used to think, oh my God, look, he's roaming around freely. That's Sri Aurobindo. I came to know that's not Sri Aurobindo, that's his samadhi. That's not, you know what I mean? As a child,
Yeah.
you are so naive that you
Yeah.
take on. But like I said, for me, it was even now, if I look for somebody to explain things to me, one goes online on Google, etc., etc. You just know they're wanting, this is not right. I just go back, even if I don't
So,
understand something I read from the mother, etc. Um, I
okay.
just know that somewhere along the line it will drop in place in action, something or the other.
Right.
Because with her writings, I can only look towards the teachers in the ashram who grew up there, or you have so
Okay.
much knowledge. So
Oh,
I would come to you to understand about
oh no,
Bhagavad
I'm
Gita,
quite
etc., because I've never
learning.
studied, but you have knowledge, so you know
No,
what
we
I
are
mean,
all
and
on the
it's
same
the
plane,
right
I would
thing
say.
for me.
Ji, I'm just been parroting the scriptures for many years, that's all.
That's
But
okay, but it
yeah.
comes across
Yeah.
very well, I
All right.
understand.
Ji, ji. So, yes, see. So, I think, means anybody wants to, anytime you feel free to interrupt. We just, it's the nature of our session is actually a free extempore talks on certain subjects. So, right now, as we are discussing on cultivating of Arjuna's consciousness. Somewhere we understand that Dvaita Bheda which happens sometimes inside of our own minds. Sometimes it happens on what is right and what is wrong. You are not able to decide also what is correct. At all those times it is important to connect, become calm on inside, call upon the divine, just like Arjuna called upon inside of a battlefield. This is why the Gita is so special. It is a scripture which is taught in the practical, it's a middle of a great battle, right in the flux of action. Here, Arjuna is understanding that no more can I take control of my life. All things that are happening are beyond my mind's understanding. It is, you see, he gives the explanation of different stages that he goes through. We also go through those stages. Sometimes you feel head is spinning. The world is only spinning upside down. Sometimes you feel, what did I do wrong? What did I do here? Why am I experiencing this? These are all questions of every human soul. If you want a divine teacher, you have to first become a human disciple. You must understand your limitations as a human. That is why Sri Aurobindo has called this chapter as the human disciple, the third one actually in the essays on the Gita. Who is this human disciple? What are the traits? Well, Arjuna is the representative of all of us. We have our limitations. We have n number of limitations which make us human. Let us first accept that we are human. Let us understand what our limitations are. When we understand our limitations, when we understand that we are human, then we can seek the divine, then we can seek the divine teacher. Until we recognize this, we will not be able to receive the guidance. Krishna was with Arjuna all along, isn't it? Yet Krishna was not able to pass on this great wisdom, this secret knowledge, which is a Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. And is the most secret of secret knowledges, which is available. Means knowledge is everywhere. It is like a free, what we say, some kind of, we have network of wisdom everywhere around us. We just need to look and receive. But for that, we need to understand, we need to be in that conducive state. We have to be conscious of our human nature, then it can get transformed, then it can be molded. If you already think you are divine, I am already divine. I'm, in Hindi they say, Tis Mar Khan. There is no use then. God cannot work on you. God cannot work. The teacher, the guru cannot work until you recognize it. And then but the question is, doesn't it make us ashamed, or many times people feel ashamed about identifying their limitations. Worst thing is you go and tell a person you tell a person what is wrong in them. That is the surest way to trigger that person into getting into an argument with you. Even if that person is wrong, nobody likes getting their own mistakes pointed out. One person told me one very secret strategy of, he said, I'll give you a best strategy how to promote your online handle for Ayurvedic products. I said, what is it? He said, write something which is absolutely wrong. I said, we have a name. We should not. He said, no, no, put something wrong purposely. I said, what will that do? He said, everybody will come to correct you. Everybody will come to correct you, so you will get a good traction. You don't have to do anything. Make a small mistake and let everybody come and correct. I said, that is fine, but that is going to affect the name of the brand also. We don't want these kind of strategies. But that is the nature of human being also, isn't it? I know why this person is going wrong. So I'm going to give this person this personal. People even give medication to another person without even knowing what that person is going through. Doctors can give medication, isn't it? But non-qualified people also start giving medication, start offering free counsel without being asked. They keep advising different things. Why does that all happen? It is because this is human nature only. Everywhere we have to first recognize we have to become the human disciple, then we will get the direction of the divine teacher. And they say Guru is everywhere. Krishna Tattva is in the universe. He is in Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata, as what Krishna says in the Adhyaya of Kshetra and Kshetragni. Means he is the king, he is the ruler, he is the master, he is the teacher who is present in every kshetra, in every place. You cannot say he is not in this place. You go to a completely isolated place, isolated from everybody in the world also, there also you will get the direction. Some stranger from somewhere will come to you on the road and give you one wisdom. Somebody I know was praying to Ganesha. And that person, today is Ganesh Chaturthi, isn't it? That person was particularly praying to Ganesha, who is so many kilometers away. And that person really, it's not possible physically for that individual who is the, seeker of the Ganesha is not able to go and visit that particular temple. But at that next moment, that person said that person got this prasad of the temple from somebody else. Now, what do you say for that? That is actually an experience, isn't it? Just like how Shashiji said, I know mother is there. Like that, she said, I know Ganesha is there. Because that prasad came from where? Some random stranger. And what was funny was so many other people were there, they didn't receive the prasad, only this one individual received it. How is it possible? And that person was thinking of the divine only. Meaning that is the connection with the divine. So for that, you have to first be fully grounded. You have to be fully, we have to first recognize that, chalo, we are all Shishyas. We are all Shishyas of whom? Shishyas of the divine. Shishyas of Krishna himself. Shishyas of our Guru. When we understand that, then we will be most, you can say, ready to receive the wisdom. Because reception starts, it continues through a lifetime. It is not a one-time process. Ki I received it, now I have got the knowledge. Some people get a glimpse of realization. A glimpse of realization is not the same as a settled realization in the full being. Suddenly, we, and then the words are used so interchangeably. I got sakshatkar. Someone says, I have got realization now. Okay, after 15 minutes after realization, that person is fighting over why did I get more chocolate or why did I get less chocolate? How, who is this realized soul who is fighting over after getting the entire Brahma Vidya? Why is the person arguing over that? Because that is not the full realization. So, first is let us not run after immediate realization in the thought or in the mind. Instead, let us first try to identify what are our limitations. But identifying our limitations should not make us like Arjuna's state of Karpanya dosho. Means Karpanya dosha is the great fear that hands and body is shaking. I don't think we should have this fear on identifying. Instead, we must become confident. We must understand what is our dharma. For identifying what is our dharma, we have to turn to the divine. We have to turn to the divine. So, the second and the most important aspect which we see in the Gita is this one, that turning towards the divine. And for how does this turning happen? The Bhagavad Gita is the scripture. As we go through, we will see slowly, and we have all studied the Gita. Can someone just share some of the points how we can start receiving from the divine? How do we receive guidance? Because, say, today we have, say, 10 of us together. Maybe somebody else might be looking at it randomly 10 years down the line also. If that person is wanting to know, what do you think the Gita is telling us on how we can receive from the divine? Remaining in this state of Shishyatva, in this Arjuna's consciousness, if we cultivate inside of us, how can we receive knowledge? What are the ways in everyday life that we can follow? Any simple, I think all of you can only share some of your pointers, what you do in life, because all of you have studied the Gita and you're following something on your own. Anybody?
Get the
Some.
ego, personal ego out of the way,
Okay,
that I
how do
know
we do that?
everything.
Okay, I know everything. Let us forget that I know everything attitude. What about Maji? But what about the fields that we are already, like say I'm expert in, suppose, no, so-called expert, nobody is expert except Krishna is the easiest way to remain grounded. But suppose
Mm,
I see, I know I have a field in which I've been regularly working and got some experience. There I get the feeling, isn't it? I know everything there.
mm. But
How do
if
I
one
keep
is
that away?
asking for help, then
Yeah.
they know they're asking for help. So they've
Mhm.
got to put aside what little knowledge they have because
Mhm.
they're looking outside of themselves for somebody to help them. So, they can't be like a child. Here's my toy, please repair it and keep on clutching it. You've got to let go of it for the
Yeah.
toy to be repaired while you wait patiently. So, the same thing, if one is looking for help, then one's got to get out of one's own way for the help to arrive. If you stand in the way, the ego is there saying, yeah, well, but you don't do that. You've got to it's like
Mhm.
saying, thy will be done, and then
Thy will
just
be
leave
done,
it. Yeah.
Krishna. Right, right. This karta bhava should be thrown away. Whatever little I know is not important. There is so much more that I don't know. I can try. Okay, yes, Mari, that is one nice point. Rachna ji is sharing something. Yes, please.
If we want to learn, then we have to understand that whatever little we know, it is only till the level of the intellect.
Hmm.
And there is something beyond that. There's something beyond body, beyond the mind, beyond the intellect that we don't know yet.
But
And
that
That's
influences the
why
mind and body also, no?
they
Rachna ji?
sorry, sorry.
that which is beyond the mind and body, that influences our mind and body also, isn't it? And the actions in the world, no?
Yes, but if we till we are quiet, maybe
Yeah.
we will not be able to understand that.
Hmm. Ji,
Uh,
ji.
we are we are just thinking,
Hmm.
or we are just um, trying to understand from the past, like from the memories, or
Hmm.
maybe project onto the future. Or in any case, they are all mental formations or something.
Hmm. Okay. So I think, okay, yes, Rachna ji has given one very interesting and important point that there is something which is beyond our mind and body. And this something is sometimes opening, it opens the door to a whole new world and a whole new universe of things, a universe of possibilities which we don't even know there are possibilities beyond our thinking. At least for that reason, for that simple reason, we can actually learn to compartmentalize our limitations of understanding and not consider it as the whole thing. Maybe this might be a part of the picture. Yet there is so much more that I can experience. There is so much more that I can understand. And the truth is, as Krishna says, it is that supreme tattva which is influencing everything that we know and hear and understand also. Only we are not aware of it. So that makes it, I think that is a second, one more interesting, important point is yes, number one is let us become good shishyas of the divine. Wherever we go, practice that. Yes, let me keep what I know aside for a while. I want to learn. And sometimes it is fun, isn't it? When you are quiet and listening, you can understand how much the person knows, also, you understand how much the person does not know, also, sometimes you understand. You can just, oh, right, right. Oh, okay, this person who does not know is also teaching. It is all right, no harm. There's no harm in becoming quiet first. Because if we don't, we will not be able to understand. And the second, I think, as Maji talked about, was very practical, and what Rachna ji talked about is probably the Adibhautik aspect, the aspect which is metaphysical also. We do not know what is there, but that also is influencing the physical. And that is also something which we have to become conscious about because we are seekers of a truth which is universal, a truth that is integral, that is not going to be varying with place and time, which is eternal, that Shashwat Satya. That is what they call as the Sanatan Satya, Sanatan truth. That is something which has to be understood. Yes, please. Anybody else would like to add? We can look at two, three, if anybody wishes to, another point or two, and maybe then we can call it a day. Because this is our today's session. The main aspect was this only to cultivate this consciousness of Arjuna. Dr. Bhavanaji wants to add something? Yes, please.
Yeah. I just thought that my first introduction was Gita is awesome. I felt it is something really great. Then while you keep on touching it, you can touch it once, any shlok any day, or you keep continuously reading from one to last. But I found it is holding me somewhere. So it's awesome. That's what. And then
Holding
I
you
thought that.
somewhere in the sense? Holding you somewhere in the sense?
Yeah, it is means your mind is always turning towards it. That
Okay,
is how I.
okay.
First,
Not
you
holding
find it
back,
is
but
awesome.
connecting. Right,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah,
Ji, ji, ji.
yeah. And
Yes,
then
please.
you know that the writer is all what is this knowledge is awesome, and it is coming from Sri Krishna. So you start worshipping. Like I felt I should do some japa or something, and to be more in thoughts of Sri Krishna. So the japa started silencing the mind a little bit. And that
Okay,
japa was a paperweight. I felt it is such a
okay.
great paperweight that mind is so calm. And then in that calm mind, you know your own mistakes, you know your greatness, you know that this
Hmm.
has helped someone. This way of talking is good. This way is hurting. This way is wrong way. Whatever I'm doing, I am. It started revealing my rights and wrongs. So
Okay.
yeah, that resulted into holding
That
on to
jap,
Gita all the time.
okay.
Hmm.
So that japa was like through your love for Krishna, isn't it?
Yes, yes. It
Mhm.
helped me to grow in the love for Krishna.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right. Yes.
that's
Thank
what
you.
it
That
is.
was one nice point raised by Dr. Bhavnaji. If we see very interestingly, these 3 points also are very interestingly intertwined in the Gita. I think what Shashiji Maji shared, that is like the way of the karma, isn't it? Action immediately. That is a direct as karmic aspect where you do your works immediately. No, no, while I'm doing my everyday activity, let me keep myself awake. I think Rachna ji talked about what is Jnana Marga, we can call it, or trying to understand what is that there is something, a knowledge of something which that can allow us. And Dr. Bhavanaji talked about what is called through love, through bhakti. Adoration for the divine is allowing. So, whichever way, everybody has that choice. Everybody can choose which marga they want to take. And interestingly, all three margas are also connected. And that is how we can say whether we choose the Jnana Marga or the Karma Marga or the Bhakti Marga or the triple path, as what Sri Aurobindo also talks about. If we use that, and remain shishyas of the divine, ready to serve, ready to learn, ready to grow, ready to understand, either through a knowledge of our own limitations or through a glimpse or a knowledge of something which is supernal, which is supraphysical, which is metaphysical, either through that or through simply out of love and adoration for the divine. We remain in that consciousness, then we are just going to enjoy what is the great fruit of sadhana, which will come to everybody, the blossoming of the consciousness, the growth towards that light. And slowly, as Krishna says later on, those who seek the divine are then sought by the divine, that quality of the divine enters into. He says, Dadami buddhi yogam. I will grant the wisdom, I will grant the direction. So let us maybe, if we want to draw a inference of today's talk that all of us had, I think let us all resolve that we, in our hearts, remain shishyas of the divine, understand what we are human, what is human in us, but that does not. Sometimes people. This is one more important point I think before we close. I am human. I am only human. This is a beautiful shield for doing wrong. Lot of people say, I'm just human. What do you expect? What to do? This is human only. That is where the Gita differs. Means being human is not enough. We have to become divine. That realization must come. That is where we have to recognize why human is not enough, because human nature is having flaws. They are only manifesting Kurukshetra battles in every place. Happy moments cannot take place between siblings, between family members. All of this is because of what? Because of everybody is trying to behave human. Everybody is manifesting human limitations. That is why sadhana is required, because we want to become divine. And for becoming divine, let us first step is let us cultivate this consciousness. Let us try and we will see. And as the Gita, and one more, some of the simple things we can do is let us keep holding on to the Gita and reading. And more than reading, it would be nice to practice something or the other randomly. We meet once a week because it is right now difficult to have multiple sessions more often. But in the week which goes before and after, we let us try to, implement some things which we want. It's not that we are going to show it to anybody or anybody needs to verify or anything. It is for us. It is for us. It's for our Krishna, and we will see. Let us see what Krishna has in store. He will always, every day, every time he changes things, he brings about his manifestations in n number of ways. We can experience. Let us experience the glory of the divinity. So, with this, I think we can conclude. Rachna ji wants to add something. You are welcome.
Sushil you asked one question that what about when somebody points out our mistakes, then uh, we tend to turn away, or should we turn away? Why is it that we get irritated when somebody shows our flaws? So I think, say, there is a metal which we have excavated from the earth. It is gold, but it has lots of impurities with it. If we want to get the pure gold, then we have to separate the impurities out of that. Say we are able to remove a few, and somebody else also points out that this is there, so then I think it is a win-win, because we find that
Ah,
somebody has helped us to find
yeah,
that thing, and so
yeah,
now our only the 50% work is done. 50% is that we need to remove it out of that.
yeah,
So if we are pointed out our flaws, then that is, um,
yeah,
I think it is a
absolutely. So
favor.
it is a great thing. I think Rachna ji has given one more point. So why do we don't need to get annoyed or frustrated with someone is overly critical also. And understand, let us take it as a what we can say, a blessing in disguise. निंदा करिए नियरे राखियो आंगन कुटी छवाए बिन पानी साबुन बिना निर्मल करे सुहाए. Keep your critics near you. Keep them in your garden only is what that phrase says. Give them a home in your garden only. Why? Because without water, without a soap, they will clean you up by removing all your continuously pointing out all that is wrong in you. And that is definitely. And look at Krishna, no? How many fingers pointed Krishna? Everybody's fingers pointed Krishna. Always criticize Krishna, though he knows what is right. He knows what is right for everybody, and yet Arjuna also is pointing out to Krishna only, no? Ultimately, the savior is only the one who is being blamed most. He is being said, "You are like this. You were greedy, Krishna." And yet he has a smile. He greets Arjuna with a small smile, which is said in the second adhyaya, Prahasanniva Bharata, in the most difficult situation. Look at the master, who is the creator. Even illogical criticism also, he is quietly understanding and bearing it quietly. Maybe that's one thing. We again turn to Krishna. Ask him, ki boss, give me little bit of your strength to digest little bit of criticism at least. Let me become grounded and work and go ahead. So that is probably one more point I think which was shared. Thank you, Rachna ji. With this, we are ready to conclude our session. If anybody has any query, anything you wish to add or share, or anything you want to add for everybody, we can listen to that. Otherwise, we can conclude with the Shanti Mantra. It is a great joy for me every time to talk on the Gita with all of you. It is since everybody is experienced in so many fields, I get freely the chance to hear. Today we learnt about Shashi Maji having the beautiful direct Sakshat Darshana of the mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram. That is such a privilege. And the long beard person was who was the other person? Was it Champaklal ji or
No, it was a gentleman, a Bengali gentleman called Charuda. He used
okay?
to, when you entered the ashram, he used to
Ah,
sit there,
okay, okay.
filtering people. And
Oh,
I just knew Sri Aurobindo had a beard and that was it.
so
But
you
then,
imagined
the
him. Yeah.
mind couldn't understand an 8-year-old child.
Yes, yes,
There's a
yes, yes.
samadhi, there's him.
This
It
was
was
when the Charuda, this was in 1960s.
60
Okay. Yes, see. All
before
right.
your time.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. I do not know if I was
Very much before
in
your time.
human birth or I was in animal birth. I don't know. Yes. So, all right
Yes,
then.
bless
Thank
him,
you.
he's long gone.
Oh, yes, yes. He might be around now. You might have met
I
him
don't,
also.
he was elderly then. I
No, no,
definitely
he
know he's
might
no
be in
longer
another,
there.
his next Janma,
Oh,
he
he
might
might
be,
be. Yes,
yes, you
yes,
might
you're
have met him
right.
also. Yes. So, all right. With this, I think we conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Yes, please. Hari Om. सर्वे
Hari Om.
भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. हरि ओम तत्सत. Krishna Mande Jagadguru. Punarmilama, we see again in the next week. Thank you.
Thank you for
Namaste.
today.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you.
Hari
Hari
Om.
Om. Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Om, Guruji.
Hari Om. Ji. Hari
Hari
Om.
Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hare Krishna. Maji wants to share something, is it? No, she was unmuting. Oh, closing. Shubhratri, Sharda Maji. Hari Om. Hari Om.